Good evening. This side, Rahul Magan here. The world of corporate finance is changing at a quite faster pace in the sense that the way we used to register a company is changing. Technically speaking, when I entered the law and I started reading the corporate laws of XYZ country, and then I started focusing on a concept which is called special purpose vehicle. It is not that I'm not aware about the concept. What do you mean by special purpose vehicle? How exactly is the special purpose vehicle is? How to create a special purpose vehicle? What is bankruptcy remote vehicles? And so on and so forth. But having said that, after entering into the world of law, I started focusing on this critical concept of the corporate finance from the angle of law. And ladies and gentlemen, trust that there are hundreds of ways how we can create the special purpose vehicle. And especially when the tax havens are in picture. We all are aware about the fact that in this world, there are more than 100 plus tax havens. And if you do not trust me, then you can open the Google and you can simply put that tax haven and the whole information will come before you. We also need to understand, or a notable point here is the way we create a special purpose vehicle without the involvement of a tax haven. It is altogether a different or a complicated process when we are involving a tax haven. From the last quite some time, I'm doing my research on tax havens. I bought multiple books from Amazon.com, and I really thank you, Amazon, to providing such a wonderful platform. Really, thanks. And after reading all these books, especially on the tax haven, printing more than 5,000 pages from the internet covering the tax havens, that how to create the special purpose vehicle in the tax havens, and also how you can link that special purpose vehicle with a shelf company. Technically speaking, what I am noticing after doing a research, via books, via printing from the Google or any other public source, is that now the special purpose vehicle is something which is very, very prevalent as far as the corporate structure is concerned. It is pertinent to note that when I'm using a word corporate structure, I'm not referring to any specific country. I'm referring this as a concept. Example, mobile phone is a concept. This is country agnostic. Similarly, when I'm using a word corporate structure, I mean to say the holistic picture of the corporate structure. We all understand that there is a basic difference between the shell companies and the shelf companies. I repeat, there is a basic difference between the shell companies and the shelf companies. Now, the basic difference is the shell companies are generally created for siphoning of funds, and we may have hundreds of motives to create the shell companies. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you the kind of books which are available on Amazon. And if we spare some money and read these books covering extremely valuable information, like one of the books which I bought on the Panama scandal. This book told me an extensive information about how this scandal happened, who played what role, XYZ, so on and so forth. Shelf company is a company which actually I personally speaking as a treasury person, I feel that shelf is a wrong word. But at the same point of time, I feel that shelf is a right word also. Now let us go to the literal meaning of the shelf. What is shelf? Shelf means a kind of bookshelf, maybe your wardrobe, maybe you are keeping your watches, or at any place where you are storing anything. This is called shelf. Generally, people say, this is my bookshelf, this is my wardrobe, and so on and so forth. Now, let's use this linguistic in terms of the shelf companies. Now, what is shelf company? Now, many a times what happens that people create companies for bona fide reasons, not for malified reasons. They create companies for bona fide reasons in XYZ financial centers of the globe. And they run their company for quite some time, probably 1 year, 2 years. And then we may have variety of reasons. They lose their interest, tax issues, the demise of the founder, they lose the focus, probably extensive competition, some government policies, or we may have hundred of reasons the people decided not to continue with the company. Or even if they continue with the company, they feel that the kind of energy and devotion they used to give to this company is now, say, 10 hours in a day. Now they are giving 4 hours in a day, and slowly they reduce to 1 hour in a day. But what happened? There are people in the financial market who take advantage of that. And what advanced advantage they take, they buy these companies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we really need to understand there is a purpose of buying shelf company as compared not to create a shell company. When you create a shell company, you are very clear, very clear that you are not going to do any business in this company. However, after a due course of time, probably another 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, the government will get to know that this company is non-operative in nature. There is no revenue which is coming in this company. The only thing coming in this company is the cost, which is technically known as invoice siphoning. Now, I'm not covering this. Please don't expect me to cover invoice siphoning. So the tax authorities, the regulators will keep a watch on that company. But in case of shelf company, the company holds some value. Now that value may be huge, that value may be less. Now when the company holds that value, you try to take advantage of that. Henceforth, it is pertinent for finance professionals to understand from the corporate laws of XYZ company, XYZ country, that how the corporate laws are permitting you for shelf companies and so on and so forth. This is a very critical area, and I strongly feel that the research is something which is keep going, keep going, keep working. Thank you.